What's up, guys? DLW Pro here, the best in the Midwest. It's getting a little chilly here, the ass in the fall in Iowa, so let's heat things up with a penetration test. And no, I ain't talking about your mama. Let's get into it. For this test, we're going to be shooting at this 1/2 inch thick OSB board I cut up at work the other day. It is super sturdy, so it should provide us with a perfect backdrop for this 22 LR ammunition penetration test. So before we get into this penetration test, let's go ahead and get dialed in with some accuracy shooting. I put together a couple pieces of 2x4 into this beautiful little target here. Let's have some fun and try it out. All right, let's take some shots at this bad boy and see what happens. That's a hit. Let's try this one on the left. That's a hit. Got the top of it. Bring it down a little bit. Oh, there it goes. We're going to have to go set that back up. All right, let's see about knocking this thing down again. I'm going to go for this one on the right side here, see if we can crush that one. I hit it. Didn't move, though. Pretty much dead center. Let's hit it again and see what happens. We got 2 more shots. Hit it again. Let's hit it a little bit lower and see if we can pop this bad boy off. Nothing. 3 shots right on the money. No movement. Let's go ahead and see what that actually did to these 2x4s. So I'm not expecting much, but you can see nice little clean in and out. It's kind of nice. You can see where it kind of burnt the wood. There's our exit wound right there. Nothing crazy. Well, getting dialed in like that made me a little bit peckish. So let's go ahead and open up this can pop behind me with these 22 LR shot shells. Now, these things are actually used for pest control. I've heard from friends that you can shoot indoors with it, that it's not going to go through 10. Let's see if it can open up this can of pop for us, because I sure am thirsty. Woo! Oh, yeah. It opened up the can of pop. You see all those little entry wounds? That got peppered. I don't know if there's any in there, though. Oh, yeah. We got some BBs in there. And that is what we're left with. That's what comes out of that shot shell. And I'll actually show you an unshot shot shell next. Now this is what we're loading up here. As you can see, it's just a nice little 22 LR. It's got some BBs in it. Really cool piece of technology here. It literally looks like something out of Men in Black. All right, let's go ahead and start this penetration test, guys. First up on the ammunition showdown, we have our Winchester Super X. This is 40 grain and 1300 FPS. This is just a small game / target plinking ammunition. Let's go ahead and see how many pieces of our 1/2 inch thick OSB this can penetrate through. Let's get into it. All right, so this is Winchester Super X ammunition, 1 board. Okay, so 1 board through. I'll go ahead, show you guys. Here is the entry wound. Here is the exit wound. That is 1 board. All right, this is Winchester Super X ammo, 2 boards. Let's see what we got here. Okay, it is just barely making it through. This second one, you can see it definitely had some issues popping through, but it still made it through 2 boards. All right, this is Winchester Super X ammo, 3 boards. Let's go check it out. Oh, no penetration for 3 boards. No penetration for 3 boards. You can see it really blew up the back of that second board. There is the entry wound right there. And this little bulge right here is where that bullet ended up. So let's actually see if we can see the bullet still stuck in there. And yes, you can. That bullet is right there. So that is our Winchester Super X 40 grain, 1300 FPS. We have penetration on 2 OSB boards. The third one stopped the bullet. Let's go ahead and queue up another ammunition. I will be right back. Okay, so for our next penetration test, we are going to be testing out our standard velocity Aguila 22LR ammo. This is 40 grain and 1130 FPS, which is a little bit underwhelming compared to our 1300 FPS that we are shooting with our Super X Winchester rounds. We already have 6 of them loaded up, so let's go ahead and get our penetration test started and see how many of those OSB boards that this Aguila ammo can go through. Let's get into it. Okay, so this is our Aguila standard velocity, 1 board. All right, we hit this thing dead center. We have penetration and an exit wound. There is our penetration, there is our exit wound. Let's go ahead and queue up another board. Okay, this is Aguila standard velocity, 2 boards. Let's go ahead and check that out. I literally hit it dead center on the exact same spot. So we're going to call that, but there's an entry wound and an exit wound on both boards. So let's go ahead and get a third bullet and hit that again. This is Aguila standard velocity, 3 boards. Well, guys, it looks like it went through 2. Did not go through a third, unfortunately. And I can actually feel the little dent right here where that bullet is stuck. So it looks like the only reason it ended up going through 2 boards in the first place is because I had hit it exactly on the money on my first shot, so it just went straight through. But our standard velocity Aguila 40 grain 1130 FPS did not get through 2 boards. So that is pretty much neck and neck with our Super X, even though our Super X managed to get into the 3rd board, so it still is technically on top. Our standard velocity Aguila underperformed. So Super X is number 1, standard velocity Aguila is number 2 on our list. And now this is our next to last ammo that we are going to try out. This is our Blazer 22LR ammunition. This is by far the cheapest ammo that we're going to be shooting today. It comes in at 1,235 SPS, and this is also a 40 grain cartridge. Let's go ahead and stack this up in the penetration test and see where it lies. Alrighty, this is CCI Blazer ammunition, 1 board. We hit it bottom left. Woo! Nice entry, nice exit. Let's go ahead and put up 2 boards, see what happens. This is CCI Blazer ammunition, 2 boards. We hit that one right on the money. Ooh, nice exit wound. Look at that one. That's a big chunk right there. Entry, exit wound. All right, let's queue up 3 boards. All right, this is CCI Blazer ammunition, 3 boards. Let's see if it hit. Oh, 3. We've got through 3 boards today. A clear shot. Actually, no, I'm tripping. That is a nail right there. Oh, okay, it actually got stuck right here. 2 boards. There's the bullet. We might even be able to dig that thing out, but okay. 2 boards. Our Blazer ammunition went through 2 boards here. It looks like the bullet stopped right at the end. So again, in the rankings, it's still neck and neck with our Aguila ammo, which also went through 2 boards but did not penetrate into the 3rd. Let's go ahead and queue up our last ammo and see what happens with that. So for the last ammunition on our penetration test, we have our Federal Punch 22LR personal defense ammunition. This stuff comes in at 29 grain and it is 1,030 FPS. So again, the FPS is a little bit underwhelming compared to the other ammunitions that we've shot today. but this ammunition, I believe, is going to perform the best. Let's go ahead and put that to the test and see how many OSB boards that this can get through. All right, this is our Federal Punch personal defense ammo, 1 board. We have an entry, we have an exit wound. Here is our entry right here. Here's our exit. Let's go ahead and set up 2 boards. Okay, this is Federal Punch personal defense ammo, 2 boards. Let's go ahead and see what we did here. Oh, I did the same thing. I basically hit it right on the money. I mean, right next door to where my last bullet was. The entry wound and exit wound got bigger, but it definitely hit 2 boards. So let's go ahead, queue up 3 boards. We got an in and out on 2. Let's see what this personal defense ammo can do to 3. This is Federal Punch personal defense ammo, 3 boards. Oh, did it go through? It went through 3 boards. Let's go. We have a winner. Ding, 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 ding. So we've got our entry. We've got our second entry. We've got our tertiary entry and exit wound. Let's go ahead and give it up for the Federal Punch. We have a winner on our penetration test, but let's take it to the next level and see if we can get through 4 boards with our Federal Punch ammo. This is Federal Punch self-defense ammunition, 4 boards. All right, let's go check it out. We have a clear entry. Did we get it through? No, sir, we did not. Where is the bullet lodged? The bullet is lodged in the end of board 2, actually. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy in that one. But, I mean, we can't take away that first shot. It went through all 3, even though the bullet in this one did get stopped in the second. We can still call the Federal Punch the winner. We are going to come back at a later date and reassess these ammunitions with maybe some different types of penetration tests. All right, guys, that wraps up our penetration test. We had 4 ammos, but there could only be 1 winner, and that was the Federal Punch personal defense ammunition. I'm Dion W Pro, the best in the Midwest. Like, share, and subscribe. Become a member if you want to help this channel grow. See you guys next time.